Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Proximity.fun. My name is Tristan, and today I want to answer a quick question that we got from the mastermind group, which if you have not joined, then you probably should. It's facebook.com/groups/proximityfun. Proximity.fun being one word. I'm going to stick that in the chat for you guys so you can check that out. It's free for now. So if you want to come and ask some questions and get some news and other stuff that happens a little bit faster, because going out and making videos like this takes a long time. So if you guys want to come and check that out, then definitely come and do so. Then what we're working on right now is using Google Sites with Bluetooth beacons and seeing how it affects our range. And as you can see, went from like 3 to 10 impressions a day to like 30 to 40, 54. So it's pretty crazy stuff. So if you guys want to come and check that out, then this is the place to do it. So the idea here is that one of the people asked a question about how we could manage large number of beacons at a time and keep the process fairly simple and clean and straightforward. And I think that there are two solutions to this. I think that there's two real easy ways to handle it. So there's a free way and then there's a paid way. So let me show you the free way first. First thing I would do is create an Excel sheet like this, and you're going to want to have just somewhere that you can identify where the beacons are going. And then what you want to do is you want to create an account in Tiny.cc. Now, this is a dummy account. This is one I just use for videos. But basically what this does is it creates a redirect. And you can take that redirect, and then you can point that wherever you want it to go. And so the idea here is pretty simple. In fact, let me pull up my my sketchadoodle here so I can show you exactly what we'd have in mind. So you have your beacon, right? Now the beacon normally points to the website like this, okay? That's the most common way for us to do it. And then whenever we want to change where this website goes, or whenever we want to change where this beacon points, then we need to connect to it with our cell phones, update the beacon, and then that changes the URL in here, URL, and then that changes where the beacon points, right? Simple, easy. That's the standard approach. And that's a cell phone. Go to a little antenna. It's an old cell phone. Now, the idea here is that instead of doing this, we're going to point this to, so we're going to erase that one. We're going to point this to Tiny.cc. And then from here, then we have the URL, the final website that we want to send people to, okay? And what'll happen is whenever we want to change where this goes, say that instead of going here, we want it to go here, then all we have to do is log into Tiny.cc, and we turn this one off, and we point it to this website instead. And that's very, very easy to do. All you have to do is select it, hit edit, and then you can change the link just by updating this here. So right now, this will send people back to one of the records that we built for a project. And if we don't want to send people to the specific page anymore, all we have to do is delete this and put in something else. Okay, we'll say facebook.com. We update the link, and it's done. Well, I was going to ask for the HTTP stuff. p:// update. And so now this exact same link that we had before is now going to send people to Facebook instead of sending them back to the document that I was sending them to previously. And so I think that's going to be the easiest way to manage it. And then what you'd have to do is then just keep track of which beacon goes where. So for example, a lot of our clients just use the color of the beacons as a way to distinguish, this is beacon 1, 2, or 3. This is the red beacon, the blue beacon, the green beacon. And so we put that beacon ID over here along with the client, the Tiny.cc URL, which is going to be this right here. And then the redirect URL, which is going to be whatever this is down here. So that's kind of the idea behind that, and that's how this different process works. Now, this does work. It can be a little frustrating, though, when you have 1,000 beacons. You have to scroll through here and you have to look specifically for those beacons, and it can be a little bit more complicated. There are some ways that you can automate that, especially if you're good with Excel. You can find that information a little bit more quickly. Then you come back over here and you scroll through all this, or you search for that specific URL or that specific beacon, and that's how you update it. The paid option to do this, and something I think is a little bit easier, is to go with a paid beacon management platform. So the one that I'm currently using is Keycom, and I'm not going to pull it up because I just have a lot of client information on there, and I try to keep my client information as private as possible. But you have pretty much a system that's very similar to this. You can log in, you can see which beacons are available, you can adjust those beacons on the fly, and then you can update where those URLs are pointing, and it just makes everything that really nice, quick, and easy. Now, you don't have to use a paid platform to do this. Like, we just showed you how to do it for free, but I do think there is a certain amount of value behind having a paid platform to manage this kind of stuff, especially when you start talking about very large quantities of beacons. Um, my reasoning behind this is that we, as the owners of these businesses, there are certain tasks that we need to perform that actually generate revenue for us, and then there are tasks that we need to do in that uh, are more management stuff, administrative stuff. So things like this, going through and building out the Excel sheet and mapping everything out, setting up whatever formulas you need in order to find specific URLs, and those are things that take up time. And you get to the point where you can spend 2 hours going through and updating URLs on, between Excel and Tiny.cc, or you can go out and you can push a button, pay for that button to be pushed, and then you go out and you sell more beacons, or you sell more websites, or you sell more whatever. And so it really comes down to a question of what's the most efficient use of your time and what's the most efficient use of your money. If you're going to spend 4 or 5 hours a day, or if you need to hire somebody to come in and manage this part of the site for you, this part of your business, then you're probably going to be better off just paying for the automated system. So that's just my opinion of it, though. You guys can do with that as you like. But that is the idea. The other thing to keep in mind when you're doing something like this is if every single beacon is going to be going to its own unique URL. If all the beacons are going to be going to the same URL. So, for example, we talked a while back about selling beer at soccer stadiums, right? So all those beacons would actually point to the same URL. It all points back to the same site. And so what you would do in that case is you would put the one URL, like this one, on all the beacons, and then whenever you want to update them, you can update all those beacons at once just by coming in here and updating this, and then that would instantly update across all of the beacons. And it doesn't even matter where the beacon is. This is universal because it's not the beacon itself that's updating, it's the 301 redirect that's being updated, if that makes sense. So this particular beacon can be out in Canada, it can be in China, it can be in Hawaii, and then all I need to do is come into this little system and I can update it right here. So there is some extra benefits to having your beacons set up like this. And it's definitely something that I would recommend if you guys are just getting into it and if you're having any problems with managing those beacons, because then if you don't do something like this, anytime you wanted to update that URL, then you would need to go out to wherever your customer is, connect with that beacon through your cell phone, and then update it, and that can just be a real pain in the butt, especially if that beacon's far away. So just my 2 cents on how I'd handle that kind of situation, how to handle that kind of question. If this has been helpful, then make sure to give the video a like. And if you guys do have any other questions like this, other things that we can help you answer, then let us know. You can either do that back over here, like I said, in the Facebook group, or leave them in the comment sections here on these videos, and I'll do my best to get back to you. So that'll do it for me. Have yourselves a great day. I'm going to go pass out. Bye.